Chapter 5. The King in the Well.
I once was the king of Cockadoodle.
The old man told Tripitaka in his sleep.
That's a kingdom near here.
And he began to tell Tripitaka his story.
5 years ago, there was no water in my country. It never rained, and the farmers stopped bringing food into the towns. The people were hungry, and I needed to do something quickly. Then, one day, a magician arrived. He could make clouds in the sky. The weather changed, and soon it rained every day. The farms were green again, and the people were happy. I told the magician, "Please stay. My kingdom is nothing without you." In the end, he said yes, and I gave him a house. But early one morning, I was at the well in the palace garden when I heard someone behind me. It was the magician. He hit me, and I fell down the well. Then he said some magic words. When I looked up, I could see his face far away. But it wasn't his face. It was my face. The magician was now me, and I could do nothing about it. The impostor put an apple tree over the well, and he went to live in the palace with my family. He is now the king of Cockadoodle, and nobody knows the true story.
Tripitaka moved in his sleep.
How can I help?
He asked.
You must take this green ring with my seal on it,
answered the king.
Give it to my son, the prince. When he sees it, he's going to understand.
The next morning, Tripitaka opened his eyes in bed at the monastery. He saw the green ring in his hand, and he told Monkey about the king of Cockadoodle.
Leave everything to me, master,
said Monkey.
I can help the king and drive away that impostor.
Monkey soon learned something interesting. At 10 o'clock the next day, the Prince of Cockadoodle and his men wanted to visit the country near the monastery on their horses. The next morning, Monkey jumped on his white cloud. He looked for the prince and his men and found them not far from the monastery. Monkey quickly changed into a big, fat bird and ran in front of the horses. The prince suddenly saw the bird and thought,
"Wow, I want to eat that for my dinner."
So he took a long arrow from his bag. The arrow went up through the sky, and it hit the big fat bird. Monkey, in the bird's body, went quickly across the sky to the monastery. Then he changed back into Monkey and put the arrow into the monastery door. Monkey then went into the monastery and jumped into a box there. The prince went after the bird on his horse, with all his men behind him. He soon arrived at the monastery, and he found the arrow in the monastery door.
"What's my arrow doing there?"
he said. He took the arrow out of the door and walked into the building. But Tripitaka stood in front of him.
"Move!"
cried the prince angrily.
I'm a holy monk.
You can't say move to me,
answered Tripitaka.
Well, I'm the Prince of Cock-a-Doodle, and people always listen to me.
The prince cried.
Take that monk away,
he said to his men. But Monkey opened the box and came out. He said some magic words, and suddenly nobody could move for a minute.
Prince,
said Monkey.
we have something interesting for you.
Then he took the green seal ring from Tripitaka's hand and gave it to the prince.
That's my father's ring,
The prince said.
Take it
Monkey said.
and close your eyes.
The prince took the ring in his hand and closed his eyes. After some minutes, he opened his eyes again.
I saw my father,
He cried.
and he told me something terrible. The king in the palace is an imposter, he said. Is it true?
Yes,
Answered Monkey.
But what can I do about this?
The prince cried.
you must wait.
Said Monkey.
We are going to help your father.
So the prince waited at the monastery. Later that day, Monkey spoke to Pigsy.
I need your help tonight.
Said Monkey.
Sorry, I'm feeling tired.
Answered Pigsy.
Please help me, Pigsy.
Said Monkey.
Then you can have some treasure.
Thought Pigsy.
Is that treasure going to be some nice food? All right, I can help you.
He told Monkey. That night, they went to the palace garden. Pigsy broke open the gate with his long muck rake. Then they went in and found the apple tree.
The treasure is under that tree, Pigsy.
Said Monkey. So Pigsy opened his big mouth and he took away the tree in his teeth.
Oh, look! There's a well under the tree.
Cried Pigsy.
Yes, the treasure is down the well.
Said Monkey.
Shall I go down there and have a look?
Asked Pigsy excitedly.
Yes,
Said Monkey. So Pigsy went down the well. He found something in the dark well water.
This is the treasure.
Pigsy thought, and he carried it up to Monkey. Pigsy put the thing on the ground at Monkey's feet. And then he looked at it.
Yuck!
He said suddenly.
That's not treasure. It's a dead body.
that's right.
Said Monkey.
It's the body of the true king of Cock-a-Doodle.
And you knew that all the time?
Cried Pigsy angrily.
Well, yes,
Smiled Monkey.
but I needed your help because you're very strong.
I see.
Said Pigsy.
And now, don't tell me. I need to carry that body back to the monastery too.
No, that's all right.
Said Monkey.
I can do that.
Monkey quickly took out some of his hairs and said some magic words. Hundreds of little monkeys ran to the dead body, and they carried it back to the monastery. The prince was there with Tripitaka and Sandy. At the monastery, the prince looked at his father's body.
This is terrible.
He cried.
My father is dead, and that imposter is now king.
Wait here.
Said Monkey.
I need to ask for help from some of my friends in heaven.
Monkey jumped on his cloud, went up to heaven, and spoke to the moon goddess.
Here, have this magic peach drink,
She said.
It comes from the fruit in the peach garden of heaven. When someone drinks it, they become immortal.
Monkey took the bottle, came back to Earth, and gave the magic peach drink to the king. The king slowly opened his eyes and looked at Tripitaka.
Thank you, holy monk.
He said.
Don't thank me.
Answered Tripitaka.
Thank Monkey.
And me?
Pigsy said.
I help too.
Let's all go to the palace tomorrow.
Monkey said.
Then we can talk to that imposter.
Tripitaka, Monkey, Pigsy, and Sandy took the true king to the palace the next day. He wore a big hat on his head, and nobody could see his face. At the palace door, Tripitaka spoke to one of the king's men. In the end, the travellers went in and saw the imposter king. He looked down at the travellers and said,
Who are you, and what are you doing in my kingdom?
We're 4 travellers on a long journey to India.
said Tripitaka.
We're going to bring back holy writings.
Oh,
Said the imposter.
but who's that 5th man in the big hat behind you?
He's a man with a terrible story.
Said Sandy.
Long ago, he was a king, but there was no rain in his kingdom, and his people were hungry. Then, one day, a magician arrived and made a rain cloud.
You dirty monster!
Cried the imposter.
Stop there!
Just then, the true king took off his hat.
You're not the king of Cockadoodle!
He told the imposter. The imposter stood up angrily. He said some magic words, made a big black cloud in the sky, and jumped on it.
All right, so I'm not the king of Cockadoodle.
He laughed coldly.
But you're never going to take me alive!
And with that, he left on the black cloud.